What's up, guys? Your boy Keys. Welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're going to be reacting to Omniscient Reader, Chapter 209. Now, guys, I know I say this every single week, at least for the last couple of weeks, but last chapter was it was an absolute banger. I'm going to stop cursing, alright? I know that, like, YouTube don't like that, so I'm going to try to stop cursing as much, though I'll be honest with you, that's kind of part of my vocabulary at this point, so, you know what I mean, I'm going to let it fly if I let it fly by accident. But yeah, last chapter was crazy, like actually super crazy. We finally got to the trauma unpacking that I really wanted to get into, though we got there through circumstances that I wish were better, I should say. Yeah, man, I mean, like, we finally got our mom back once the Outer God was defeated, but then immediately after the Outer God was defeated and we got our mom back, the fourth wall, which helped us defeat the Outer God, you know, decided to let its nuts drop and say, hey, I'm still hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead and snatch that real quick, snatch their mom, and then we got a replay of our history, essentially. Okay, so Dokja found out, you know, we went through the whole story about, like, how his mom, you know, and her dad, and not her dad, his mom and his dad, you know, how they got together, and the mom started realizing at some point, you know, we actually are not that similar. Because when they named Dokja, right, Dokja got his name because his mom was like, I want you to be a reader, right? And I believe it was at least that, like, she thought of it as read, but his father, you know, had Dokja as alone, which is like, why would you name your kid Alone? You know, why would you put that on your kid? But then again, now we see why actually towards the end. I know why, because the guy's like a, you know, he's a, I was about to say a piece of, you know what, but you know, he's just not a good dude, all right? He's an abusive piece of, you know. So, that's unfortunate. We already kind of knew this, but the twist, which I had, you know, it was a theory that I had, because obviously I'm a reader, as I said before, all right, certified reader at that point, at that I mean. But it turns out Dokja is actually the one who killed his father, though it really wasn't, like, it was an accident, to be honest with you, because the dude was drunk. He went up to Dokja. Dokja's holding the knife because this dude is, like, beating his mom. And this guy slips on a bottle because he's an idiot. And then slips, falls right on the knife on top of Dokja. So, it's really not Dokja's fault. But at the same time, it's definitely not his mom's fault like he thought it was. And that is going to be a really big revelation that I think is really going to change Dokja. And this incident in general, his mom getting eaten by the fourth wall, is going to change Dokja completely. Because, I mean, like I said before in the last chapter review, this is like, he can't trust his own skills at this point, right? Like, the fourth wall is a part of him. He's going to be looking at it completely different, and the way he interacts with the world and how he interacts with, again, his skills and the way he thinks about it all, that's changing at this point. He can't look at it the same way, because it's like the fourth wall is an entity of its own. It has its own agenda. It has its own wants, wishes, desires, right? It wanted to eat, I'ma eat. I don't care if it's your mom, I'm eating, right? So, yeah, man, that it is looking kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, we're in scary hours right now, because, like, at this point, it's like, what again? We knew that it said that the back then, when, as one of the commenters pointed out, this was during the time, because I mentioned it before, but one of the commenters told me exactly when it was. It was when the dude that was obsessed with Jung Hyuk, I think Nirvana was his name, when he was around and he was defeated by Dokja. I think it was either Nirvana or someone, I'm pretty sure Nirvana, ended up saying that, yo, you better be careful, you might end up getting, because you might end up being eaten by your own skill. And that's the thing, like, the way the fourth wall was operating with us last week, or not the last week, but the week before last, in the last chapter, I can easily see that now. It's very easy to see now. Before, it was just like it was a throwaway line that was like, you know, maybe, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, now we're seeing concrete reasons as to why we should be looking at this skill a little bit with a eye of, what's that word? We should be critical. That's not the word I'm thinking of, but I'm going to use it right now because I can't think of the other word. But we should be critical of our skill right now, of the fourth wall, because we don't really know what, you know, like, what the limits of it are. Because at this point, like Dokja said, it's defeated an Outer God, all right? We didn't do that. Fourth wall did. It defeated Nirvana. Well, Dokja helped with that, but still, Nirvana is what ended up eating him. at the end, right? He's the one that dealt like the final blow that like sent him away. Same thing with and I forgot about this, but same thing with the theater dude, right? That had the mind control abilities on Jung Hyuk. So at this point, we kind of got to start looking at the fourth wall with a grain of salt. Like, not a grain of salt, but we got to start looking at it more critically and like, you know, really examining like what its agenda really is. So I'm gonna start keeping that in the back of my head as we continue to go forward. But I'm ready to jump into this chapter, guys, because I'm trying to see how Dokja is gonna react to what has just happened. So let's go ahead and just jump into the chapter. Okay. If I had called an ambulance at that moment, he might have been able to live. I was the only one who could save him, and I was the only one who had made a choice. So what I told the child was not a lie. I was the one who killed him. So she's saying, listen, I don't want you to feel bad about this, because at the end of the day, we could save him right now, but I don't want to save him. And she really shouldn't, to be honest with you. But also at the same time, again, this is self-defense. I still don't get why why she was arrested for this. Because the dude was clearly going after, he was beating her. He was attacking Dokja, or at least, threatening to attack Dokja. I don't remember if he hit him or not. I think he might have, but either way, this guy was abusive. Like, so I just felt as though, like, it doesn't make sense why she had to go to jail because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like her defense attorney should have, like, this should have been a slam dunk for them. Like, look, what did you want? He was attacking him. Drunk out his mind. But anyways. That was it. So what I told the child was, yeah, okay. So that was it. Just that. I actually, I knew. So why were you giving her so much grief, my guy? Actually, I knew. Maybe it was just repressed, but I thought that might have been what happened. Yeah, so this is kind of like a repressed memory. He's like, I knew this the whole time, but it was one of those thoughts that, like, I just had in the back of my head. It wasn't like a concrete, like, obviously this is what happened. He didn't 100% know. It was like hazy in his memory, but he thought, you know what, this could have been the case. I always think about this. Maybe it was all just an excuse. There must have been a better way, and I thought this was the only explanation for my mother's behavior. About why she suddenly wrote an essay I didn't understand. Memoir of an underground killer. I shouldn't have left that child alone. She shouldn't have. About why I had to become the son of a murderer. No matter what. As a mother. I shouldn't have acted that way. Oh my gosh, bro. We needed this to be in person. Not like this. Not like this, man. He's getting closure in the worst way possible, dude. In the worst way possible for this incident. At the end of the day, a mother being a mother, she loved her child. Look at little Dokja. Look at little Dokja. No Diddy or no Drizzy, but you know what I'm saying? He looks cute. I am just a mother who ran away. At the end of the day, I am just a mother. Dude. No. It can't end like this. I can't let things end this way after hearing this stupid story. Spit her! He's hitting. Spit her out! And he's bleeding from his hands as he's doing it, bro. Wow. Fuck. I'm sorry, you. It was them. I had to be accurate. Kim Dokja was crying. Kim Dokja clenched his bloodied fist. Wow. And now the fourth wall is like, ooh, this is a juicy story. Yeah, he was crying. Then he clenched his fist. He hit the wall. He hit it again. Fuck. Kim Dokja was horrified. The fact that every action and word from him, everything was becoming a story. Shut up! Kim Dokja wanted to know, what should I do? How can I break this wall? Was this the price for having read Ways of Survival? Did reading it turn even my reality into a novel? He then heard the sound of the page being ripped apart. Oh, we're breaking through? Kim Dokja thought to himself. Is this the fourth wall talking to us? Hey, what is that? Kim Dokja thought to himself, what is that? Unable to be eaten. This is getting spooky. This is getting real spooky, y'all. Real spooky. Kim Dokja was surprised. Pull yourself together. This is your skill. Is this the author? Or is it the fourth wall? Who is talking to me right now? Who are you? Don't get eaten by your own skill. What? You idiot, take your hands off right now. Who are you? Oh! My fist was getting sucked into the wall. Deactivate the skill, Kim Dokja. He almost got eaten. He almost got eaten. I will deactivate the skill, fourth wall. The system error caused by an unknown reason has been fixed temporarily. Has been temporarily fixed. Your attribute window has been restored. Would you like to confirm your attribute window now? Yes or no? I can see my attribute windows now? I can see my attributes window? The reason why I couldn't see my attributes window this whole time is probably because of the fourth wall. Though it protects me from other beings, it's also a skill that isolates me from myself. So yes, I want to see it. Checking the attributes window, the current system configuration is unstable. Some skill names and level indications will be limited. Wow. Wow. Some constellations are approaching your mental barrier. Constellations of the nebula Vetus are approaching you. Constellations of the nebula Olympus are approaching you. Constellations of the nebula Papyrus are approaching you. Don't come around me now, dog, unless you want the smoke. Look, we might be afraid of it. I'll put this fourth wall back up on you. We'll up it real quick. Don't let me get the page out. That's crazy though. Wow. Who was talking to him? I'm gonna guess it must be I forgot his name, but the author of TWSA, bro. It has to be TM 23 or whatever that man's name is, or girl. We don't know at this point. It could be he or she. Who knows? But whoever they are, it might be that person. Those just like shit. God. Oh my gosh. These people. The exclusive skill fourth wall has been reactivated independent of your will. Huh? It came back on its own. Whoa. Like, okay. Bro. Personal information. Kim Dokja, 28 years old, obviously no sponsor. Modifier, the ugliest king. The ugliest king, that's temporary. Exclusive attributes, 8 lives, heroic scenario. Okay. Exclusive skills, omniscient reader, viewpoint level, bookmark level, character list, fourth wall, blank and then blank. Overall evaluation, blank, you are blank. You are what? You are what? The constellation founder of humanity is groaning. The constellation one who stabbed his own eyes is backing away while covering his eyes. Okay, so the fourth wall probably came up to protect us this time. The constellation Scorpion Goddess is retreating while protecting her tail. Some of the constellations that approached you have retreated after receiving damage. Okay, yeah, so the fourth wall was like, nah, none of this. Y'all better skedaddle. But I'm on my face. So it's protecting us but it's a double-edged sword of a skill. So maybe like it doesn't necessarily, maybe, okay, you know what? Maybe it isn't like a skill that has its own agenda trying to attack us, but it might just be a double-edged sword of a skill. So it's like, yeah, it could protect you, and its goal is to protect or to isolate you from things that are trying to harm you. But if you allow it to like do its own thing for enough time, it will consume you as well. It will consume things that you don't want. You need to be careful with it because it's a double-edged sword in that regard, which is interesting. The constellation secretive plotter is smiling at you. Man. Wow. Great chapter. Great chapter. Who is this man, secretive plotter? Is he the is he the author? I don't know. I don't know. But I want to, man. I want to so badly, dude. This is, wow. Wow, things are... I need the next chapter. I need the next chapter, bro. I need it. I need it right now. I need it right now, okay? Wow, man. This is... I'm going to read the footnotes real quick. Some experts weren't included. It was truly an absurd coincidence. That coincidence changed our lives. Perhaps that was the moment when many decisions were made. My young mother browsed for murder incidents and began to fabricate evidence. She eliminated any factors that could have involved me, only to make this accidental murder seem as though it was her premeditated crime. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then. So it's not just the fact... Well, again, I still don't understand why she couldn't just say, yo, he was trying to attack us and tried to kill us. He slipped on the bottle and ended up killing himself. Because that's what happened, and like that's self-defense at the end of the day, regardless of whatever. But then again, maybe in Korea, the fact that like he would have killed him, and if that would have gotten out, maybe that would have like looked really bad. You know what I mean? Like maybe that would have been a thing where it's like, oh, like people would have shamed him for it. You know, because I'm coming from an American context, so it's like stand your ground. You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, you know, maybe in Korea, like, the thought of a murderer is, like, much more heavily weighted. Which, again, it's not like in America it isn't, you know, weighted as a heavy crime. But, like, we can excuse murder for things like this. Maybe, like, you know, over there, I don't know. If any of you guys are Korean, let me know. But maybe over there, like, murder is taken a lot, like, differently. Like, I know there was a show I was watching called High School of the Elite or Classroom of the Elite. And there was one chick who shoplifted, and like the way that they carried it out in the show to me was laughable. Because I'm not saying, you know, like shoplifting is a good thing, but it's not that crazy of a crime. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of one of those things. It's just like whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But for her, she was ostracized. She was, you know, potentially like they used it as a potential way to like bully her. And even back then, her mom was like. She almost, like, it almost seemed like her mom was about to disown her, for real, for real. Like, if I were to shoplift, my mom wouldn't disown me. She'd be like, hey, you shouldn't have did that. But at the end of the day, it's not like, it wouldn't have been that heavy of a thing. But, you know, again, going back to here, maybe that's the reason why she felt the need to do that for her son. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, okay, let's see, only to make it look like accidental murder, the scene premeditated her crime. One had to live as a murderer, and the other had to live as the son of a murderer. I started to hit the wall like I had lost my mind. The fourth wall licked my fist. Oh. Okay. The blood staining my fist, the memories and the stories were absorbed by the fourth wall, becoming its own story. No tears came out, though. Okay. That gives a lot more context, too. Wow. Interesting. Interesting stuff, man. Again, I'm excited to see exactly where we're going, what direction we're gonna go from there, because like I said before, it seems like we're starting to get towards the end game of the story? Question mark, maybe. We're getting a lot of good stuff. It looks like the author is actually gonna start coming out now. Or at least we're gonna start getting more hints as to like the bigger players in this. Like Secretive Plotter, I always was under the assumption that that might be the author of TWSA, and I think Dokja was as well. So it's interesting that, like, you know, he sent us that message, like, oh, he's like some, he sent us the message, but it gave us that, like, notification that he's smiling at us. It's interesting to see that somebody has been communicating with us through the fourth wall skill. Maybe that's the author. I don't know. We need to figure out. I am interested to get more information about either one, because right now, I don't think I have enough information to, like, thoroughly make a good, even, like, not even a good, but, like, a okay theory or a thought about it, you know? I'm kind of, like, my head's just kind of spinning around right now trying to come up with something, but, you know, hopefully, you know, not hopefully, but eventually I think we're going to start getting into, like, who these people are, because, like, that's kind of where we're at right now, you know? We're a constellation. We're dealing with some of the bigger constellation groups right now, with Vedas, with Olympus, with Papyrus, right? So, yeah, we're starting to get into, like, some of the bigger players in this world, and I'm interested to see them. I'm very interested to see them. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the reaction right here. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like the video, subscribe so you can see more content like this. Comment down below any thoughts that you had about this chapter, thoughts about the reaction, and I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Peace.